something crosses the road. It's skeletal like, fleshy, and it stands up, and then it like kind of just almost like leaps.
They look back and they see one. Clear as day. It walked 5 feet away from my audio recorder. He just saw a Bigfoot. Holy crap.
I've been pinched, I've been tapped on the shoulder, I've had my name hollered, a hand came up underneath my left arm. I said, little son of a bitch tried to get me. That was the time that I decided you don't sleep inside that building.
Did you see that?
The cowker, it's big, it's white, and it runs faster than any man could ever run. And it would lean out behind the tree. And that's why we never go out. Because the booger will get you.
Okay, we are good to go.
That's dope, dude. That intro's dope.
Thank you, the other co-host made it. It's all different clips from all our podcasts.
Okay.
So how are you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Just hanging out here in Colorado. How about yourself?
Good. He made it.
Here I am. Oh, I can't hear nobody.
You good? Can you hear us?
Hi,
Hold on. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why.
So, while he's getting his stuff figured out, we can start talking. What got you into the paranormal?
So actually, what got me started was I had bought a motion active camera and had it in my house, and it was watching, watches my back door, my front door, and it had caught in some orbs, and it caught some stuff like moving throughout the house. It was never like in the same spot, and it's unexplainable. And so that's kind of what got me started. And then my next door neighbor, who I actually started this with, we're no longer a team, but we started it together, and we did an investigation in my house, and had some cat balls going off. My oven light started turning on and off. And once that happened, man, it was just like, things like to communicate, and I've just been obsessed with it ever since.
Cool. You told me this once before, but where's SOCO Paranormal come from?
So SOCO is just Southern Colorado. We're, I guess, pretty prideful down here in Southern Colorado, and so there's like a lot of SOCO sports. Just a lot of stuff is just Southern Colorado, and so then we just went with Southern Colorado Paranormal just because that's where we're located.
Cool.
And I just wanted to, my buddy Randy is here as well. So this is, he's the historian of our team. And so he does a lot of the research, and he does like all the backstories to everything as well.
Seemed to go spawning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it still hurts.
That's awesome. What places do you go and investigate?
So we do a lot of cemeteries like around here, and then we've been to like the Garnett House and Haunted Sleeper Mortuary. It's like a 15,000 square foot mortuary. It has a living like space, so it's super nice accommodations. But then as well as like it's almost kind of what like, I don't know, Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole type of thing. Like you're up in this nice, beautiful place, and then you walk down, and then you're into a mortuary where people were embalming, lots of funerals. Anyways, super creepy place. But those are our main places. But we have some big things coming up. Like we're doing the Cripple Creek Jail coming up this next weekend, and that was actually featured on Ghost Adventures. So excited to do that one. And then we're going to be shutting down a hotel in Victor, Colorado. It's called the Black Monarch. It has ties with like Nikola Tesla, and like it has different themes, but it's supposed to be pretty haunted. But then like later on, as well as like Malvern Manor and McIntyre Villa. I think we're going to do the Garnett House again and the Haunted Sleeper again, coming up here soon, doing some collabs with some other creators. So pretty excited what we got coming up. We've done Custer Battlefield, the Fetterman Battle Site. We've done Fort Laramie. So we do just a lot of travel, and we went and done it over at the Oregon Trail. So we just go all over and just kind of wherever we think places are cool for our viewers to see, and if we can show it, we'll show it. Because in our opinion, there's paranormal everywhere.
I agree with you on that one.
Is my mic working now? Are we good?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
I can hear you.
Okay. What's going on? My name's Dustin.
How are you, man? I'm Jolly.
Nice to meet you, Jolly.
Nice to meet you.
So my headphones were kind of cutting out. You said Southern Colorado, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Okay. So did you happen to talk about like your favorite place? Did I miss that yet?
No, not yet.
No. So we were just kind of talking about places that I've investigated. So we're actually located in Canyon City, Colorado. So just a little town, a little south of Colorado Springs. But I would say right now, I really enjoy the cemeteries, man. But I would say, like as a place to actually investigate, Haunted Sleeper Mortuary was probably my most favorite. We had caught some pretty wicked EVPs out of there. I had never like truly, I guess, done a true EVP session. We're very new to this as well. So, I mean, but we had sat down with some pretty experienced other groups like Spooky Okie. There's, from TikTok and Paranormal Family. Anyways, we were sitting down and doing an EVP, and we had gotten like 3 direct answers in a row. We had gotten this name, we'd gotten an age, and we'd gotten gender. And then so we had asked this, like, do you want to go on a tour? And like by the 4th person, it said tour, and you could hear what it sounded as something like landed on the floor and then steps running across the floor.
Oh, wow.
Probably one of the craziest things that I've heard. But that one was cool. I guess sitting here talking about it too, another cool one was we were at this place, and we know it as the Murder Farmhouse, is what we call it. And we were sitting there, and as soon as we started our investigation, it had kept talking about like portals and gateways, like the mirrors are the portals, mirrors are the gateways. And it was the craziest shit ever. It was like the gateway is opening. And as it says that, like right here, right next to like the right side of my head, it was like just it almost sounded like a freaking portal was opening, like right next to me. It was audible to everybody on like TikTok and YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely crazy. So that was a super dope experience as well.
That's wild. You said that you do a lot of cemeteries and stuff like that. What do you like? How do you overcome like some of the disturbances that you'd have outside of like a building, compared to like inside the building?
As in, I guess, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, like we have a couple of cemeteries that are local here that we go to, and the biggest thing that we found that's like makes it difficult with investigating outside is just like the ambient noise, cars going by, like wind, like those kinds of things. Like, is there anything that you guys do to like overcome those kinds of things?
No. So we're kind of lucky. The cemetery that we go to most, it's actually called Greenwood Cemetery. It's where, but it's like up in the mountains, kind of, and not very much traffic, and so there's not too much noise, not too much light pollution. So, I mean, it does get traveled on, and then with the wind, we just use, if we absolutely have to, we'll use a mic.
Yeah.
And then that will, it'll knock down the wind and stuff. But whenever it comes to disturbances and stuff, we're actually very blessed in that aspect to where we don't have to worry too much about traffic or anything like that.
Well, that's good.
Sometimes, I mean, we're on TikTok, and my town is a small town. And so sometimes we do get, the occasional people that want to come up there and see what you're doing. But for the most part, they don't. It's a pretty just chill area.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your go-to equipment? Do you have like a favorite piece that you
Yeah,
use?
I do. I actually, my favorite equipment is the Flux 2. And so it's a yes and no response device. And so whenever I can match up, the voice box with maybe some SLS with the Flux, or even just the Flux responding with the voice box, I think that's pretty good evidence as well. So the Flux 2 is what I like. I think the music boxes are super cool. I would really like to get one of those trip wires that's like just true off of EMF. And so then I think that those are probably like, if you got, in my personal opinion, if you have your tripwire lighting up, you're getting true activity of some sort. Like there's something there, because I mean, I've put phones on it. I've like stepped on it. I've done everything that I could to be around it, because I've only seen it in real life one time. And it was really cool. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
I've seen that used a couple of times. Have you guys ever thought about like making any of your equipment or anything like that? Anybody tech savvy like that?
Yeah, my buddy Randy he's thought about making like a type of RIM device or RIM pod out of like a baby or something like that. Just something to give like some kind of trigger object. And yeah, he'll be able to do something like that.
That's awesome. Have you ever heard of?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we have a good group of people that we kind of follow, Forever Investigating Beyond. They make their own equipment as well as ghost hunt. And they do a lot of stuff out of like woodwork, and it's a lot of like it's burned carve in, like it's burnt in, which is super good. Great craftsman, and super cheap. So a music box that's like $400, right? That's like your average music box. If you go to a website or anything like that, you can get it for $60, $70 shipped to your door, right? So pretty freaking amazing.
That is pretty awesome. So they do the woodworking and stuff themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to see a piece?
Yeah, if you got something.
Yeah. Let me show you.
Yeah, they're the ones I told you about the other day. Well, I sent you the link to the website.
Okay, I remember now. Yeah, the cause there was that one music box that you had sent me. Right, it kind of looked like a coffin, I think.
Yeah, that's it actually. So this is it right here, and so then that's actually a part of our logo. Say we would burn it in, and then it comes up to just has like about a 7-foot radius. But then I wanted to try to use Bob Marley as my tune, right? But they can't do anything that's copyrighted. So we went with like a little bit of a Freddy Krueger sound, but they couldn't use the actual song. But check it out.
That's sick.
Right. And so then I think that if you're doing like a haunted house, man, or or even the Cripple Creek Jail, it's where we're going to use it at the very first time. Super fucking excited. Yeah, they do all of that. So they're sending us a response device, and so that's what I'm actually going to kind of put that in place of my Flux 2, because it's the same thing, but like on my Flux 2, it constantly glows blue to just check its surroundings and do that stuff. On theirs, it's just a straight darkness. So when we go lights out or we're sitting there in the pure darkness, it's true, just pitch dark, and nothing will do anything except for light that up. So pretty excited for that.
That's wild. Have you ever heard of a Raspberry Pi?
I haven't.
So this is what it looks like. It's essentially a computer. It's a microcontroller.
Charting computers at Valley View. That's what ran your charting computers in the hallways.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he's familiar with it?
Yeah.
So I'm using one of those right now to create an AI audio device. So what it's going to do is pretty much sweep certain frequencies, looking for anomalies in the audio. It'll timestamp it, give a suggestion as to what it think it might be. If it's like language or something like that, it'll give a suggestion as to what it thinks it might have said. But yeah, it'll like clip the audio and put it all into folders and stuff.
That would be absolutely amazing.
That's crazy.
That would be absolutely amazing. And so, because that's my hardest thing. And so, like, I love to listen to the necrophonics, or whenever you turn it onto your necrometer and you hit it on speech, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love to be able to do that, because I think that even the spirit box from Ghost Stop, right? I think that it picks up things better. Or it's easier to communicate through than just like the preset letterings that you have. But you can't understand it half of the time. And so it's like, if you had a way, like you were saying, like with AI, to almost decode that a little bit, that would be be perfect.
Yeah, I'm working on the scripts now. I got just about all of it like functional, except the anomaly identification part. That part I'm still kind of trying to figure out, but once I get that part ready, and then it's just putting it all together, one final controller script.
See, and that's so my thing is if somebody could figure out how to hook that up to an SLS or an XLS, you know what I mean? Like, if you could hook up some kind of voice box to your SLS while you were simultaneously doing it, I think that would be the best freaking. It would give you the best, most sound solid evidence that you would ever need, because you would have it right there on your SLS, matching it up with the voices, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it could almost like, I can see you and whatever you're hearing. So I think be pretty freaking dope.
Yeah. Once I get it up and running, I'll send you a little video of it and give you a rundown how it works.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah, because I have a parabolic microphone that I can hook up to it too, so that it's, it's a more sensitive, type microphone.
Okay. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
about you guys? Do you guys do any investigating, or do you guys like, is that what got you guys into all of this stuff, or like, what got you guys into all of this stuff?
What got me into this was, everyone's gonna. I tell this story so many times on the podcast. People's gonna be like, "Oh my god, this story again." But it's okay. I was younger, and I can't remember how old I was, but my dad left for the night, and my mom went downstairs to shut off the lights, and me, my brother, and my sister were all staying in my room because my sister's room was getting remodeled. So she went downstairs to shut off the lights, and we lived in an old house, and we heard a woman screaming, like a blood curdling scream. And I'm the oldest, so they're like, "Hey, go check on mom, see if she's okay." Like, we thought my mom maybe saw like a mouse run across the room, or like a cat run, because we had cats, so maybe something freaked her out and she got scared. So they're like, "Go check on mom." I was like, "I ain't going down there. That was a scary scream." And she comes running upstairs like 2 or 3 seconds later. She's like, "Why'd you guys scream?" We're like, "It wasn't us." She thought it was us. We thought it was her. It was one of us. And it was the most terrifying scream I've ever heard in my life. And I actually called my dad in tears. I was like, "You gotta come home right now." But that's what got me into it. And my dad's into the paranormal as well, so it's kind of traditional thing.
It's funny. I was just listening to you tell that story. I was listening to the Troy and Brittany episode a little while ago, so I was just listening to you tell that same story. For me, I'd never had anything like that except for that growl. I had a growl in my old house that kind of freaked me out, but I don't know. I kind of chalk it up as to maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, because I was young whenever it happened, but I don't know. I just kind of always had an interest in like the paranormal side of things. When I was younger, I was like looking into spells and doing rituals and things like that. I probably messed something up for me now, but but yeah, that's why I do it. Like I say, I'm a skeptical believer. You know, I gotta have something truly scary happen for me to be like, okay, yeah, it's probably time to hang us up.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, you got to give me something good, man. Like, I've heard these stories. Like, I'm ready to see it, dude. Ready to see it and show it. You know what I mean? Like, that's my whole gig. Is I want to go and experience, but while I experience it, I want everybody else to experience it too and see see it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, we've definitely had things happen that are kind of unexplained. The one thing that comes to mind, we was investigating the Greene County Historical Museum here in Washington County, Pennsylvania, and we had a ping pong ball sitting on the bar, and we was filming it, asking questions, trying to get it to move. And he sat down on the floor with some dowsing rods, and I panned the camera down, and I was filming him. And you could hear something going across the bar. Well, whenever I panned back up and looked, I just caught the tail end of the ball going across the bar, and it was sitting there for what? It was sitting there for a good 5 minutes before it ever moved.
After 10
So it had
minutes,
no
yeah.
reason to move.
It's crazy. Huh.
Yeah. But like at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but it could have, like, the wind could have blew it, or you know what I mean? Like, I know we were in a building, but we were in a barn, so I mean, there's a chance, maybe.
Right. You know, I can understand that, but sometimes it's just like you said, you just gotta chalk it up as like, I can't explain it, you know? Like, I can't explain it.
Yeah. He's seen some shadow people there at our one of our last investigations that we did.
Okay.
I saw 4 shadow people because it was at this West Alexander Fairgrounds, so it's a haunted house on the hill, and I'm sitting in the room, and he's in the other room by himself, and I look out the window, and I saw 4 people walking up towards the house, and I got up and I told him, I was like, "There's 4 people like walking up like towards the house," and I didn't want like someone to be coming in while we were there, so we went outside because the guy who runs it was outside, and we went to talk to him. He's like, "There's nobody up here."
I have 4 kids, so I totally understand. Like, I understand.
Yeah. All boys, all girls, a little mix.
2 boys, 2 girls. But so my oldest is 21, and my youngest is he's going to be 21, and then my youngest is 8. So,
There you go.
But yeah.
Yeah, we got all girls. He's got 3, right? Yeah, and I got 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's Randy's. You got what?
All 3 girls.
3 girls.
Yeah. Any of the kids like to go out and do any kind of investigating with you guys?
So well, they say they do. My daughter, she'll walk around with my phone like in my house because, like I said, like I'll do investigations in my house and stuff like that too. And so she'll walk around with my phone like, is there any spirits that want to talk to me? You know, and my phone won't even be on or anything like that. So she does. And they had went to Fort Laramie with me and Randy, and we were actually getting some really good responses in the jail there at Fort Laramie. And they were in there with me, and it started getting a little crazy because, I mean, the responses were dead on. I also use a lot of the AI pictures as well, and you know, they're hit and miss, but I've caught some really cool shit with them. Like, I took a picture and it showed a dude in an inmate clothes, you know what I mean? Like, so it was, or it, you know, like, it didn't know we were in a jail, you know what I'm saying? So it was just, sometimes it flows together, sometimes it doesn't. Anyways, we were catching some really good stuff, and I think that they had got their feel for it and wanted to get out of there for a second. So, you know, we ended it pretty quick. But I think that if my kids weren't there, Fort Laramie would have been pretty freaking wild.
Yeah. Have you goodness. Have you done any investigating outside of like Colorado? I'm not sure if you'd said already.
Yeah, so we've done investigations in Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana.
Oh, okay. If you guys ever make it up to PA, let us know. We'd love to take you to a couple of places that we go to regularly.
Dude, I'd love to get out there, and I want to get out to like Ohio. Like, there's some, you get like Pennsylvania. There's some good places out there. We actually just started up our own company, so we're like SOCO Paranormal LLC,
Oh, nice.
and
Very
we're gonna start hosting investigations. And so we actually kind of tagged up with, so they're coming down here in February. They're from Vermont. It's Olivia Taylor Haunted AF. But anyways, their company's called Are You Afraid of the Dark? And so we're actually hosting an event with them in Vermont at Wilson Castle, October 17th. So super stoked for that. And then we're going to go and spend some time down in Salem. So, but yeah, we'd love to get out to Pennsylvania, out to the East Coast, and do some hunts for sure.
Yeah. We go down to Bel Air, Ohio. There's a place called the Ross House that we enjoy. There's another place down there that Luke, he may not go back there ever again, to be honest with you, though.
Oh, yeah. That place freaks me out.
What place is that?
The Bel Air house.
Oh, the Bel Air house.
Mm-hmm. I've actually witnessed someone getting like possessed at the house. So it kind of freaks me out to go back there just in case something like that happens there.
I think it's all a matter of mindset, to be honest with you.
Oh, 100% as well. I mean, and I do think that, and maybe not. I mean, I guess I'm going to be shown one day, right? But I think that the more that you show that you even have that anxiousness or that nervousness, like I think that that's whenever they pick up on it a little bit more and they go off of your frequencies as well. So I think that like when you go in there and you're like, no, like show yourself, like let's do this like for real. You know what I mean? Like it's almost more of a intimidation factor, even though you're not trying to do that, like it, but like you just want it so bad, you know what I mean? Like, so I think you're absolutely right. I think it depends on your frequency, but I think that whenever you go in there with like that energy, I think it's almost like an intimidation factor, kind of.
Yeah. Do you think that even if maybe you're feeling these emotions, that fear, that anxiety, like even if you're not showing it physically or you know what I mean, any like giving any kind of sign that that's the case, do you think that they still know?
Yeah, I do. Because and that's just a personal opinion, you know what I mean? Because I think that, I mean, because that's what we're basing all of our scientific methods off of anyways, isn't it? Like it's just like frequencies and energy and stuff like that that's being put out. So I mean, you got to think like you radiate that frequency as well, and that so I think that they can feel that. And so I think that no matter how much you want to hide it on the insides, they like your frequency is going to show a different vibe. Your aura is going to be different, right? Like you might be able to have like balls of steel when you go into somewhere, but I think that whenever it comes down to it and things do fall down or you are playing with the Ouija board and it spells out your name and Zozo and stuff like that, like are you really like, is that what's going to freak you out, or are you going to push further to further investigate? So I think that I think that they can tell it from the insides without you having to say it.
Yeah. Now, do you have anybody that might be sensitive, or do you guys take any sensitives with you whenever you go investigate?
So like me and Randy, we don't have any of those types of abilities, but we do have a psychic medium that does follow our team around and help lead us in ways. And we do have a couple other mediums that will jump in and they'll give us, what they think. But we do have one that we definitely listen to a lot more than the others.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Are they on like YouTube or anything like that? Are they like
TikTok?
TikTok?
Yeah.
cool. I'd be interested to check out their TikTok if you would like sharing that. If I was okay.
So yeah, you can check them out, man. It's Paranormal Joy.
Okay.
And also, so dude, their family's dope, and they run it's Postmortem Paranormal.
Okay.
And they have like, so she does like, she's a psychic medium, and then her son does things with UFOs and UAPs, and they do things with cryptids, and so super cool people, and great story to hear. And then we also have another one, L&M Paranormal. She's also a psychic medium. So if you wanted to check out her stuff, she actually wrote a book. Joy's also an author as well. But Leah is from L&M Paranormal. But not to tell their stories, but she had wrote a book about it. So, but she wrote it she had ended up passing away 3 different times. And she was able to recall everything that happened during her death. And so she wrote a book from her view, the doctor's perspective, and her husband's perspective, because she was able to see all.
Oh,
So,
wow,
and actually, like, yeah, backed up by evidence, which is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to talk to her.
Yeah, so I mean, I could definitely direct you guys in a couple different ways if you guys wanted to reach out to some people and ask them if they'd be interested in a podcast. And I'm sure actually both of them would probably be willing to sit down and talk about their story. They're super great people.
Yeah, definitely. Now, whenever you guys are investigating, do you guys have any like techniques or like special things that you do that kind of like change up like the cookie cutter way of doing things?
I wouldn't say so. I would say, I would say that really the only thing that we go head in, man. There's not too much that scares us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I guess, the biggest thing is what I see the differences is, man, like to me of the cookie cutters, or even just like the new age and the old school. I kind of fell more into the old school ways. You know what I'm saying? Like you have, I'm a TikToker, and so I'm a consumer more than I am a creator, I guess you would say. And so you follow these people, and there's so many people out there that want to just make such a fast buck off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're making you pay to see investigations and to turn off their fucking lights and stuff. And to me, that's crazy. So what we like to bring as our team is, we're going to show you the investigation no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just out here to show you the paranormal, and I understand business plans, and I understand all of that stuff. Like, I totally do, but I just think that it gives some of the paranormal stuff a lot of bad name.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and maybe cookie cutter might be, I don't know, it might put a I don't know, shed some bad light on it, but like, I guess what I mean, like, most people go out, just start, what's your name, how old are you, those kinds of things. We went on in some investigations with some people that we played hide and seek with the spirits using a spirit box, which was kind of interesting. So everybody on the team would go hide, and the seeker would have the spirit box, not seeing anybody that would hide, and then coming into the building asking questions like, okay, where do I go? And it'll be like upstairs, downstairs, or whatever the case may be, and kind of guide you to where those hiders are at.
That's freaking awesome. No, and so I was like, like I was saying, like, so we're pretty new. We first started going live back in October 24. And that's when we really started getting into like a lot of different cool places. But no, I've seen some cool things, and so we're going to start introducing like playing some cards. Like I've seen it where they can call out your card number, they can call out what suit you're rocking and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So some different stuff like that, maybe some dice rolls, and just kind of different things, instead of trying to get just like ages and names and stuff like that. Like, we would rather get like more intelligent responses. Like how much intelligence are we working with really here?
Yeah. I like that. Kind of taking a different approach to things, trying to find the different ways to do it instead of just asking the same old questions.
Yeah, and I guess so. Now that you bring it up too, I feel like I shortcutted my buddy here. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's our different. I would say that's our difference, right? Is so we do a lot of history. We bring all of our history into our investigations. So everything that we do, we drop on Facebook as well. So we'll drop like all of our history that he does. So he runs our Facebook page and he drops like all the history of like whoever we're looking for, certain tombs we're looking for, or whatever location we're going to. We research it and we find out all the history of it. So I guess we go at our investigations more at a historical site. So then that way we can back the history with whatever we're coming across, like the necrometer, the necrophonics, and it's not. Like we have different theories of different places that we go to investigate. Like we try to solve, I guess, different crimes or whatever in our own minds. And so then that's like kind of where we go with our investigations.
Yeah.
But they come into. So the other night we were at the cemetery and we were getting responses back that matched, responses we were getting at the Garnett house in Kansas, the Grinner, and specifically the was it David, right? David was the guy we were looking for in Garnett, and we kept getting David at the cemetery, and then it said Grinner, and that's who we were assuming, the Grinner was when we were in Kansas, was a guy named David, and so it kind of just crosses over, it came back to the cemetery and represented itself in a different location.
Oh, okay. I see. So I'm confused, I think. So you're saying there's two locations, almost like this energy followed you guys?
Yeah, I do believe that energy can transport. Like I think that I also think that like after you investigate a place, like that energy can follow you and affect you for a little bit of time. I don't think like for like long period of times. So like I do a lot of prayer and a lot of stuff like that. So I'm not too worried about like attachments and stuff like that. But I do believe that the spirit picks you before you find the spirit, if you know what I'm saying. So I think that you can call it coincidences, you can call it whatever, but I mean, we were driving to Kansas and the sky is completely, and we have, I think you posted it on our Facebook, so we have pictures of it too. It's just crazy. But the sky is completely covered in clouds. Like everywhere you look, it's just clouds everywhere. But if you look up the Garnett, Kansas house, 1858 Garnett, Kansas house, you look it up and you look at a picture of the Grinner, we were taking like in the sky, man. It's just crazy. And it was like you looked up in the sky and it was almost the direct image of the Grinner. We were also taking pictures one time we were at Fort Laramie doing that investigation, but we were ending it at the cemetery. And Randy's sitting there and he's taking pictures and he has I don't know what phone it is, but everything is like illuminated, like it's beautiful, bright pictures. It doesn't matter what time of night it is or what time of day it is. It's just a nice, beautiful picture. Anyways, out of nowhere, like when you're scrolling through our pictures and we're looking at different pictures, it's of nothing but the sky, which is weird because everything else is all of tombs and everything else. This one's of nothing but the sky with the face of the Grinner in it as well. So that's I think weird. And so I mean, you can call
all pre us going to camp. Like we were digging up the history of, trying to figure out who we thought the Grinner was. And so this was all prior, like everything we were seeing of the Grinner was all prior to us actually going to the Garnett house. So it's kind of like he was waiting on us, you know what I mean, to get there.
And mind you, so then another reason why I say why like the spirit can, and this all relates to Garnett, which is absolutely nuts now that I'm sitting here talking about it out loud. So we were actually supposed to do McIntyre Villa that weekend. And out of nowhere, it was just like, I don't know, maybe even a week before we were supposed to go out there, we had gotten contacted by McIntyre Villa that an accident had happened and it was double booked. And so I picked the Garnett, like out of nowhere, like I get online and we were already going out to Kansas. So I found the Garnett House, and it was like perfect for us to stay. It was booked to almost all the other weekends, but that day was open. So it
Oh
was
wow.
just all kind of strange. And, like I like to say, it's like how many, coincidences after coincidence before it's not a coincidence no more. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like everything was just adding
That's
up.
great.
And even now, like even to this day, like we're out, and actually that was the first time I'm going to say we were out at Greenwood Cemetery again. And we started getting stuff about David and the Grinner, which was very odd. And it came through clear. I mean, it was clear as day, and the Grinner came through twice. And it was just very strange.
That is strange. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
'cause
that
that's the necrophonics.
Is that the cemetery with all the inmates?
Yeah,
you
so
guys
that's
go to?
the CSP. Yeah, it was it's the CSP like cemetery.
That's wild.
So and then that place is crazy all on its own, man. I mean, we have cannibals there. We have a lot of inmates there. We've had somebody that was pardoned for a wrongful crime there. You know what I mean? We have there was an inmate there. It's one of my favorite stories I like to tell. I guess we're gonna just have to go out with a metal detector and just find this out. But supposedly back in the day, there was an inmate there that wanted everybody to be fearful of him. And so he was going through the med line and or to the hospital or whatever. And the nurse was going to work on him, man. And he reached up and he bit her freaking throat out. And so he had ended up going back and he was telling everybody, like, I'm going to hunt you guys dead or alive. You know what I mean? Like, no, I will forever haunt you once I die. Anyways, he ended up killing himself. And the warden was so superstitious about it that whenever they buried him with his cell door on top. So then his soul could never leave.
Wow.
Like he would never see the day behind bars. So it's just wild. Like, so there's just a lot of stories out there that I find super crazy. Lots of Masons. And then this crazy guy right here goes and talks to the Masons because we have conspiracy theories about the Masons out here. And this guy goes and he like infiltrates the Masons and starts talking to them and gets invited to start doing shit. So super crazy, man. But it's just a lot of fun to do stuff, you
I'm
know?
on their newsletter now. I got an email on Thursday. I'm in the Mason newsletter now.
Oh wow. Any secrets that you can share with us?
Oh, yeah, not like the ritual was. And to me, that's the only thing that separates the Masons out in any group wise is the ritual, that goes into their ceremonies. And, I haven't seen any of that, but if I do, man, I'm sure going to share it because it's interesting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me know. Let me know.
So yeah, man, that's it. I don't know. I guess that's the other thing too, is you just, I mean, I guess like everybody else, we're just all normal people that like to do cool shit and want to show it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so we just a little bit more, I don't know, crazier or active, I guess. I don't know. Just like to do crazy shit.
I do have a question though. As far as your investigations go, have you guys ever found that maybe you get more like heightened activity in certain like environmental, I don't even know how to explain it. Like maybe if it's like raining or something like that, you might get more activity than if it wasn't raining.
Oh, I guess I've never thought of that. We've done a lot of investigations in the snow, and I haven't done any investigations in the rain. Lots of snow. I guess I really can't say, man. Since we've started, we've just been very blessed to get some good evidence, kind of almost all the time that we go out, which is strange. And I'm not saying that like we're getting shit thrown or anything like that, but I mean, if you want to talk about like intelligent responses, I think that at least 75% of the time that we've been out, that we're getting intelligent responses, and I guess the cool thing about it is it's always done on pretty much on live television. If if you watch TikTok, it's what I'm saying. So, I think that's the coolest part. But whenever it comes to like weather wise, I don't know. I guess that's something that I could definitely start paying more attention to, because we got the summer coming up. and stuff like that. But they do say that, you know, spirits jive better around water or running rivers and stuff like that. So maybe if it is raining and there's different weather, maybe the frequencies change a little bit in the atmosphere. And so maybe it is a little bit easier or maybe more communicable. I'm not for sure.
Yeah. I'd be interested to hear if you guys do come up with any kind of theory on that, or, you know, any kind of evidence that might back that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's something that I guess I've just never paid any attention to. So it's something that, well, I guess we can definitely start paying attention to that.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Do you have like a number one place that you'd love to go and investigate that you've not yet, like a famous place?
I could tell you mine right off the top of my head, and it's where y'all are at, and that's Gettysburg. I'm into the
Yeah.
battlefields, and Gettysburg's my top number one that I would go to right now. If I had the means and way to right now, I would go right now.
I think
And I
that's where
guess
we should link up then.
yeah, no, and that's so then we actually have a connection to the orphanage as well out there at Gettysburg. So maybe we'll hopefully get in there and do like a collab with the lady that like actually runs it and shit. So that would be pretty cool. Yeah, man, I think Gettysburg would be super awesome. If I could, like me personally, if I could get anywhere, I'd go to the UK. And I would so I mean, like if I could get my like dream destination, you know what I mean? Like I'd go over to the UK and I follow a couple of different creators over there, the Spiritual Bailiff and Den Boy. I don't know if you guys know either of them, but like so Den Boy's showing the history of like William Wallace or Florence Nightingale. And actually before I came onto this podcast, I was sitting there watching his live, man, and he had fucking cat balls knocked like two different directions. One knocked off some stairs, and he had something else happen, but like crazy stuff happening. Like I mean, I would love to go to the UK and just experience some of their paranormal over there.
Heck yeah, we could probably get you in touch with our guy to get you to Dracula's castle.
Dracula's castle would be that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
we had a guy come on. His name's Charles Rosnay, and he runs a bunch of tours over there. He has like these I don't know. I don't want to say all inclusive, but it's like the fare there and back and the stay and stuff like that. But he takes people over there and tours like Dracula's castle, and I think he does like other ghost tours over in the UK as well too.
That would be a freaking amazing. That would be that's the dream, you know what I mean? Like going over there and like that's a dream destination. But like realistically wise, like where I could get like where we'd want to go like this year, or like the beginning of like next year would be like Gettysburg would be pretty amazing. We definitely want like so our goal or what my goal is for SOCO Paranormal, and I'm sure Randy's as well, is we'd like to get to a new state monthly. Like nothing crazy and not like week-long investigate, you know what I'm saying? But like if you could go to somewhere and investigate like a Friday and Saturday night and just be done with it, like it'd be nice to get to like a new state monthly, as well as like even just not only that, I think that if you want to do some like different paranormal, like the serial killer paths, you know what I mean? Like going and doing some different stuff, like with some serial killers, like we're right by New Mexico. So you got like the toy box killer, right? And they say over like 40 murders or something, and nobody's found. And so, like I think where they were saying is like Elephant Butte Lake, that he was dumping the bodies. It's like one of the deepest lakes in Northern America. But you go out there and you do some camping and stuff like that. So I think that I'd like to get to a different state every month and just do some different stuff and bring different aspects to the paranormal.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. Did you say that you have a contact in Gettysburg, someone over at the orphanage?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same person I know. I have somebody over there that I'm not real close with them, but I'm acquaintances with them. They run some of the tours for the orphanage and the Jenny Wade house. Her name's Kendra.
Okay, no, this one is. I think it's
Christy.
Christy.
Yeah, I reached out to her and we're gonna try to figure out a date for her to come on the podcast.
Yeah, so I think it's Chrissy, and so it's like I wouldn't say that like I know her or anything like that. She comes into my lives and like she's invited us out there, like she's personally invited us out there to the orphanage out at Gettysburg. So that's why I say like there's a connect there is because of that reason. It's not like she's not like a personal friend or anything, but somebody that's invited us out there to go out there and investigate with her. So with you guys being out there, though, I'm just saying like we could do Gettysburg would be dope.
Hey,
Like
it's not
dope,
far
dope.
from us. I'm down. I'm 100% down.
Yeah, so
Wait,
I think
Luke,
I think that'd be fun.
Luke, didn't you just see something recently at Gettysburg? They have like campgrounds like on the battlefield that you can stay in.
I'm not sure about that.
I think that I did see something here recently floating around talking about doing some like sleepover campouts out there, but I can't recall exactly what it was about. But I think I know what you're talking about. It's something that I'll have to look into. But Gettysburg would be the top notch for sure. Like I think that's any investigator's dream and just great place to go.
I had heard a story come out of Gettysburg that is like the wildest story I've ever heard. So there's this couple that was out on the battlefield and they had a Confederate soldier come up to them and give them a musket. They took the musket back to the historical center and was asking them how authentic it was. They said, "This is a real musket, but we don't have any actors on the field today."
I heard that story. I can't remember where I heard it from.
That's absolutely nuts.
full on, full body apparition, of soldiers be dressed just like them, and that makes me want to go bad.
Yeah, and so and that's the thing too, is like I mean, like because they disappear, but like follow, like go see where they, I mean, I know that they disappear, but that they were headed that way for a reason. So like, what was that way? You know what I mean? Like, what was drawing them to go that way?
Right.
So whether it be that was the path that they marched, or you know what I mean, like, is that where their final resting spot was?
Well, I think they're all buried there. Like I think the Gettysburg Cemetery that's what it is. It's all soldiers from the battle.
Right. So definitely like I would love to get out there, and even like sooner than later, you know what I mean? Like, cause it's definitely one of the cooler spots, and just go and check it out.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Lake Shawnee?
I have not.
Luke, where's that at? That's in West Virginia, isn't it? Oh crap, he
Yes,
froze.
it's in West Virginia.
It's an abandoned amusement park. Yeah, it was a pretty cool. I camped out there. It was on a couple of shows too, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. There's like a native Indian burial ground there. Whenever I was there, we thought that we had heard it sounded like children or like Indian like chanting or something in the distance. It was very odd. There was a lot of us, so it was kind of hard to investigate the way that we probably would have liked. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing, but it was still a good experience if you ever get the opportunity.
Absolutely, I'll have to look into that. Yeah, and that's I guess my thing is I don't like to go with big groups of people. Like I want to go with either just like me and Randy, like two other people. You know what I'm saying? Like once you start getting, because that's what we did the haunted sleeper with, and that's why we're going to go back. But we did that one with 10 people. You know what I mean? And it was the first time that we had all met. And so it was good, you know what I mean? But it was definitely like I think there was a lot that we missed because there was so many people, and too many people were, worried about stepping on toes and like collabing and stuff. So I think it just makes it really hard whenever it's such a big group of people.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to do those things because the places that we want to go to are like way expensive.
Yeah.
The more people, the
No,
lesser it is.
absolutely, no, absolutely, for sure. So, I mean, it's a lot better when you have that group because of the money aspect. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not cheap being a ghost hunter. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we want to do the penitentiary, West Virginia penitentiary, or Moundsville penitentiary. Yeah.
okay.
Are they close to West Virginia? Is it?
Are you guys close to West Virginia?
Yeah.
I'm currently in West Virginia right now because my apartment caught fire a couple months ago. So I'm staying in West Virginia with my fiance's family.
Oh man. Well, sorry to hear about your apartment, bro.
It's all good. It all works out for the best.
For sure.
It's a
Everything happens for a reason.
It's a two-bedroom apartment, and there's 5 of us, so it works out.
It works out, right? So kind of changing off of, I guess it kind of deals with the paranormal or unexplained, but what are you guys on cryptids and stuff like Bigfoot and just different cryptids and stuff?
I'll let
Go
Dustin
ahead, Luke.
talk about that first.
Oh, okay. Well, I like to keep an open mind about it. I like to believe that these kinds of things are out there. I've not seen any hard evidence myself. We've had an experience together that I can't quite explain. We had. Are you familiar with the show Lost Monster Files?
I'm not.
It's on Discovery Channel. We had a couple of the hosts on that show come on, Troy Lilly and Brittany Barbieri, and Troy's an animal behaviorist. He was telling us some of the things that could be out there in the woods knocking at nighttime, but I don't know that there's going to be a woodpecker knocking on a tree at 2:00 in the morning, dude. I don't think so.
So go ahead.
No, I was gonna tell Luke to tell you the story because he tells it better than I do.
One night after work, because we work, I work 3 to 11 now, and he don't work 3 to 11 anymore. So after work, we decided to take a walk out to the cemetery in the middle of the woods. It's like an hour and 45-minute walk out to the. Would you say about an hour and 45 minutes, or would you say about?
Yeah, it was definitely an hour and 45-minute walk back in there.
Well, we walked an hour and 45 minutes back into this little dinky cemetery that's caged in, and probably 15 graves at the most, not even that big. And we go in. Who walked there? It felt like something was watching us, so like something was following us. And we get to the cemetery, we step inside of it, and we're like winding down a little bit, taking a little break after the walk. And I look up in front of me, and I seen 2 eyes, probably like this big. And they were like an amber color. And he said he only seen 1 of them. And I look at him, I say, Dustin, look at that. And he's looking at it. And we're looking at it for a good couple minutes.
Probably, yeah, I was gonna say at least 2 minutes. We were sitting there watching these lights, or what I thought was lights.
We had a knock on the tree right to the left of us. And we happened to look over to see if we can see anything. And we never seen anything. And we looked back to where these lights were, and they were gone. And he had a real bad feeling like we need to leave. Like we're not welcome back here. And so we turned around and walked right back.
Hour 45 minutes. Yeah, hour 45 minutes. We walked back in there. Was there for maybe 10 minutes. Turned around and walked back. Halfway back, his light didn't, but my headlamp died, and I knew his wasn't shortly behind mine because we had the same headlamp.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So you guys, if you don't mind, go check it out on my page. It's a little bit down. I want you to go and look at these footprints and let me know what you think. We were out in Victor, Colorado. We were out of the cemetery, I had done, I don't know, like 2 months of investigations, like sometime 2 to 3 times a week. You know what I mean? So like kind of consecutive investigations for a minute. And we were out at Victor, and it was the first time that I had any kind of like mythological creatures starting to come through the necrometer. And it was starting to talk about like the skunk ape. It was talking about goat man.
Wow.
So just different things like this. The first time that in months that it started coming through many of our spirit boxes. And at this time, my partner Carl had went up, and something had guided him up to these footsteps. And so I went up there and I was looking, man. And I wear like, so I'm about 6'2", you know, I wear about freaking 11 and a half shoe. And I put my foot in this footprint, man. And it was, I mean, a good 4 to 5 inches all the way around, bigger than my foot. And not only that, it wasn't just like it was one footprint, it was strided out. So you can see all of the footprints of where it walked at. Absolutely crazy. So let me know what you think about that. If you go to my page, it's check it out. Let me know what you think of those footprints, because I can't explain it. I just, it's just something that, you know, something big was fucking walking through there. I don't know what it was.
Have you guys gone out and done any more Bigfooting or anything like that?
No, but we really want to right now, with it just being so cold out here in Colorado. We just, I mean, we don't really go out there too much. And just kind of with like what we do now, like what, and we're going to start, we do have a YouTube channel and stuff like that as well. And we'll probably start doing like some more B footage and just rolling and going and doing some like regular investigations. But most of our investigations we do on live. And so then it's just all about location and signal and stuff. And so, but like when we go and do some Bigfoot stuff, though, we're just going to film that stuff for YouTube and just have some fun with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're up by like St. Elmo Ghost Town, the San Juan Mountains, like so. So some good areas. So we're really excited. I have a side by side and be able to go up into the mountains and like go and do like ghost town mountain towns. Like I'm pretty freaking excited for the summer.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely be looking out for that. I'd like to see that for sure.
Yeah, and if you guys ever come out to Colorado, man, hit us up.
Dude, I'd love to come out to Colorado.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what we come out for real.
Yeah.
How often do you see a moose?
I personally don't see many moose because we're a little bit lower, or I guess not lower elevation, because it's like up by Grand Junction, Gunnison.
I mean, it's not too much lower. We're just not in
the right area to see a moose.
Up by Salida.
Yeah, I guess, but like bear, elk, or not even elk. Like you have to drive just a little bit, but like deer, bear, mountain lion, all of those are like pretty much right there in your backyard.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'm talking. You'll have like trophy sized bucks walking across our roads. You know what I mean? Like so, that's kind of that's different.
That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go hunting some of them trophy bucks. We got little dinky deer around here.
Oh yeah, right. No, yeah. Some of these guys get big, and then our elk are freaking. They're monsters, The elk are huge.
Yeah. You guys do any fishing or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any ice fishing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to go ice fishing, dude. Like really bad.
Yeah, man. That's yeah. So you should come out. Like I said, come out. We'll take you out to all those places. We're like an hour away from a nice, good reservoir that has some great ice fishing. So yeah, 11-mile reservoir. It's but yeah, it's good. We have a bunch of different areas that just it's awesome. So you ever come out here, dude? We'll take you on some good shit.
Pack your bags, Luke. We're going to Colorado, buddy.
Come on. All right.
Oh man, did you have any other questions for him, Luke?
No, thank you a lot for coming on and talking.
Yeah, absolutely. We really
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all's time for real.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to do something a little different. Usually Luke and I end our shows with a would you rather question. We've not ever had any of our guests involved in the would you rather question, but I think it'd be cool if you guys were involved in this one. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Let me get our would you rather music up. So, would you rather gain the ability to see and communicate with spirit?
Oh, you're
but
that
never.
real bad.
Am I really?
Yeah, you were for a minute. You're good now.
Okay. I'll start over. Would you rather gain the ability to see and communicate with spirits, but you can never turn it off, meaning you will always see the dead? Or have undeniable proof that an ancient malevolent entity exists, but sharing the knowledge will curse anyone who hears it?
Oh shit, man, that one's tough. I think that I would rather see the dead and not be able to shut it off.
Yeah,
I don't think that because I mean, once you start talking about that, that evil spirit, man, you're like, I don't want nobody to be cursed, dude. Like that would be pretty crap. So I think that I would rather just go ahead and be able to communicate with them and see them and just not be able to shut it off myself.
That'd be a different kind of life for sure.
I have to agree.
Yeah, I think I would do the same because I can't not talk about it. If I had some information, I would want to share it, but that's gonna suck for everyone I share it with.
Right, because we would definitely be on this podcast, bro, and you would definitely be hearing about the evil spirit, and then you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like just.
That's unfortunate. We'll have to put a disclaimer in the description. Oh man, that's awesome. I appreciate your time, man.
No, man, you guys have a good night, man. I appreciate you guys, and much love to you guys. Thanks so much.
Same to you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye.
I like doing the would you rather question with the guest.
I do too. That was cool. Oh man. Well,
I think that was a really good episode.
Yeah, that sucks. I didn't get in till late, but I mean, I'm here.
I mean, we really didn't talk about much before you hopped on, anyway, so you didn't miss much.
No? Oh, okay. You want to do the outro? You want me to do the outro? I will do the outro. Alrighty, guys. Thanks, everybody, for listening to another episode of Exploring the Unknown. We really appreciate the guys from SoCal coming on and talking to us about their experiences. I'd like to get out there to Colorado. Now, we got a lot of people that we come into contact with. I think it would be really cool if we got, linked up with some people and collaborated. I mean, Fay West, God bless, they're right there. We can just go down the road and we can do what we want to do. But yeah, I think it'd be cool if we got out there and experienced some other things with some other folks that we've come into contact with.
Oh, good.
Yeah. If you guys haven't have had an experience, I feel like that's improper grammar. Anyways, if you guys have an experience, have had an experience, I don't know, reach out to us, contact us at the Exploring the Unknown pod at outlook.com. You can send us an email or a voice memo for that matter if you don't feel comfortable coming on the show, and we'll be glad to play that on the show. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, hit the bell icon for notifications whenever we drop a new episode. We try to drop an episode every week on Sunday. And yeah, I think that's about it.
That's it for me.
All right. Well,
until next time.
Keep exploring the unknown.
Go.